What is up, you guys? Thank you for watching another Spade Shades deck review. Today I'm going to be bringing you the Sultan Republic deck by Ellusionist. Now, this deck was part of a series, a Republic series. I believe they've done one more, and I have it right here, the Republic number 2. I'll be doing a review on that sometime in the future, but not today. This Sultan Republic deck was also a part of a series that I believe was the Sultan Treasury deck, and the Sultan Republic deck was also a rare printed deck, as well as the Sultan Treasury deck, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Like I said, this deck is by Ellusionist. So the tuck box is embossed and it has a very metallic, silvery ink on it, and you can see that when I kind of flash it around in the light like that. You can see how shiny it is. Okay, it looks just like real silver. Now if you look at the back, you get a peek at the back design here, and it's important for me to note that this is honestly one of my favorite Ellusionist back designs, because there was a lot of detail that went into it, but it's simple at the same time. Now what you get with it is you get an ad card that has some sort of hieroglyphics on it, which is kind of like a promotional thing. You can see it says Join the Republic, and that was kind of a promotional thing for this little series. And you got your 2 jokers. Now these jokers I'm not like 100% crazy about. They wouldn't make it in one of my top lists, and you can see a still image of them there. They wouldn't make it in one of my top lists, but I like them. I just wish that they kind of could have, I think they could have done something a little bit different with those than they did. And here is your double backer, and while we're at it, I will pull up a still image of your back design. Okay, so get a good look at that, and you will see why it is one of my favorite back designs. Because there was a lot of detail that went into it. You can see that there was a lot of work put into it, but it's very simple and very elegant at the same time. I feel like this is a deck that I could pull out in public and use it and not come off as too flashy or too suspicious, but still enough to be impressive. Okay, now the awesome part about this deck is the pips and what they've done with them. And I'm going to pull up a still image here of a few pips. I'll start with some black ones. You can see that on the spades and the clubs there are lines, sort of like 90-degree angles, I guess you could say. And the points of those angles are going in a direction depending on which way the pip is facing. Now on odd number cards like 5s and 8s have this as well, and even the aces, they have a pip that doesn't have this effect on it, and I'll pull up a still image of that really quickly so you can see what I'm talking about. And here we'll move on to the red cards. You can see diamonds, and ooh, I just dumped a heart down there. Diamonds and hearts have sort of a half and half thing going on, where half of the pip is colored in and the other half isn't. As far as face cards, I'll pull up a still image of the face cards, but they're just recolored to look the same. They're not custom. They're recolored to match the deck. And the aces as well. And I will move on to your ace of spades here in just a moment. Okay, here is your ace of spades. And now you can see it's got, the ace of spades itself is actually comprised of 4 feathers. You have 2 big feathers that are going up into a point towards the to make the point of the spade, and then you have 2 smaller feathers that kind of make, I guess you would say, the tail or the foot of the spade, or whatever you want to call that. So that's pretty much the extent of this deck. This is a really quick review, but that's pretty much the extent. But there was so much detail that went into the design of this deck, and especially the bag design, that it really just, I give this deck probably a 4 out of 5. Just because I feel like they could have done something, I'm sorry, not a 4 out of 5, a 9 out of 10, because I feel like they could have done something a little bit different with the jokers to maybe fit the motif of the deck a little bit better. But all in all, it's great. Now let's move on to the handling. You can hear the crispiness of the cardstock, which is something I like. I like a really crispy cardstock. You can hear that. You can hear how crispy it is. Here, you go one more time. You can hear that, how good it is. And you can hear the same thing in the springs. Now I'm not going to spring this deck too much because I don't want to bend it in one direction or another, but yeah. This is the Sultan Republic deck by Ellusionist, one of my favorite Ellusionist decks. I wish I had more, honestly. I wish I had another sealed one and another one that I could tear open after a while if I'm gonna, if this one ends up getting bent or something like that. I'm really scared about this one getting damaged. So I wish I had more than I do. I only have one. But nevertheless, this is the Sultan Republic deck by Ellusionist.